In our last episode, we left the amazing Tortuga surf camp on the beach. Today we're headed back inland. Kind of. We won't be right by the water, but hopefully we'll still be able to see the water. So, good job to Curt on maneuvering us out of that tight camp spot.
Yeah, and a good job to Snow in advance for driving. It's going to be a long drive today, about 3.5 to 4 hours. So I'm on first shift, but we're going to see if she can do a little drive today. She was able to ditch pretty much in Guatemala. El Salvador is going to be a whole different story.
Guys, we entered a stretch of banana land. Little places where they sell the bananas on the side of the road. We call it banana land. So we decided to stop and grab 4 bananas. We like bananas.
She wanted to sell the whole bunch for $1, but I only wanted 4 because they're big bananas and we can't eat them.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
4 bananas for $1?
Yeah, I could have had the whole bunch for $1, but I didn't want that many, and she's working hard, so.
There you go.
4 bananas for $1.
Yeah. So we're leaving the beach, but the road we're on should hug the coastline for a little while. But we got to looking at our schedule and how much more time we're going to spend in El Salvador, and we realized that we almost, not quite, but almost stayed there at that little beach paradise for too long, because once we put it down on paper, it was time to leave if we want to see some of the stuff we want to see in El Salvador, plus deal with the logistics of a visa extension, COVID test, vet to cross the borders. We cut it pretty close, didn't we, Curt?
Yeah, I think it's about a 2-week time period to get all our paperwork done. A little bit different than the other countries. And so, again, we find ourselves on the clock. But we're not done exploring El Salvador yet, so we got a lot of stuff we still want to do.
Yeah, just the way it works here, the schedule's a bit different of when you do things. So we'll have to go to the city a couple of times during this 2 weeks, but we're still exploring. And we're headed somewhere that has been on my list since I saw it. The only problem is to get to the top of this point we're going to, there's no way to drive up there, but you catch a ride up there in this big green truck, in the back of the truck. And, you know, everywhere you read about this amazing place, they list the phone number for Luis and say, contact Luis, he will take you up there. But we have reached out to Luis, and he has not reached out back to us yet. So we're headed that way with our fingers crossed that COVID doesn't have this shut down, because it is high on my list of things we want to do in El Salvador. So we're taking a gamble. We're making a 4-hour drive, hoping we can find Luis. So let's get to it.
Leaving this place, the sun's about to break. You're riding shotgun. The feeling we chase, I'm wide awake. Take me away now. 'Cause I won't go down the same old path again now. No, I've been running out of air, so let me catch my breath. The feeling I've got's making me crazy. If I'm having a good time, don't you blame me. Yeah, this feeling I've got's making me crazy. Making me crazy. So, I'm just gonna drive. I'm just gonna drive.
All right, so we saw this little nut stand or something on the side of the road. Bunch of them, don't know what it is, but we're gonna go up here and check it out. Hola. Cashews.
Estas son las 6.
¿Dónde es el tree? Aquí? So she said the cashew trees are right back here, and I think I see them. But if you see the little yellow fruit on this tree right here, let's come right up here. We got some cashews and we're back on the road.
Let's do it.
All right, we just stopped for groceries at the La Despensa de Don Juan.
Don Juan grocery store.
And it was actually the best grocery store we've been in El Salvador in terms of having the most variety and the most stuff. We stopped in, what was the town we stopped in? La Libertad earlier in the week. And Libertad.
Libertad or something like that.
There were several things we needed they didn't have and or forgot, so we just made a little stop here, which this is a cool little city we've actually come through. Very active marketplace along the major highway. And so we're pulling out and getting going. We're back on the road again, finally.
You are on the fastest line. You should reach your destination.
That was a busy little town. It's still a busy little road getting out of here. Any comments, Snow, other than it's hot?
It's pretty darn hot. And that was a good grocery store, just like you said. But now we're southbound on Highway 2 in El Salvador.
Snow is focused on her driving. All right, after a marathon day of driving, Snow is getting us close. We're about 5 minutes away.
Exit
We
roundabout onto my
still haven't heard from the guy who's supposed to take us up to the spot. So we don't know if it's going to be open or not. So this is kind of another one of those things where we're going into it.
Gonna go figure it out when we get there.
And we don't really have a good plan B. So hopefully this works out.
So I'm starting to think it is not looking good for the plan we had. We've come all the way down to the south end of El Salvador, where they have a gulf filled with beautiful islands, and there's mountains and volcanoes all along the shoreline. And what we were supposed to be able to do here is that you can't drive to the top of these volcanoes, it's too rough. But there's a man named Lewis that owns a little spot on the top of one of these mountains, and he has a big green 4-wheel drive like farm truck that every day at 3 o'clock at the police station you're supposed to be able to load up, and he'll take you up there and you stay for a couple hours, you watch the sunset, and then you come back down. But we still have not been able to get a hold of Lewis. But I'm starting to get a feeling that we need to come up with a plan B, that this isn't going to work, which makes me really sad, because the views up on top of this mountain volcano overlooking the Gulf down here are supposed to be amazing. A lot of local El Salvadorians will tell you it's the most beautiful spot in the whole country. So we're going to try, but I don't know. Okay, things got a little hectic this afternoon when we got to these little towns down here on the Gulf in southern El Salvador. But good news is, well, bad news first. We are not going up to the lookout on top of the mountain over the Gulf tonight. Good news is we finally did get a hold of Lewis, the guy that can get you up there, and we're going to go up in the morning. Now, everything we read online, TripAdvisor, blogs we've read, iOverlander reviews, said that we cannot get our van up on top of this. But I talked to Lewis on the phone. I told him how tall we were, how long we were, how heavy we were, and he said he thinks that we can get our van up there. So here's the plan. We're going to meet him in the morning. He's going to look at the van. If he thinks that our van will make it up there, we are going to follow him up there. So we'll know exactly where to drive on the road. And if that's how it works out, if we want to tomorrow night, if we like it up there, we can camp up there, which is super exciting. Now, if Lewis looks at the van and says, nah, I just think you might have too much of a hard time, there's a restaurant 4 blocks from here where he will let us park our van and we will ride up with him in the big green truck. So either way, we found a nice place to park tonight. We're right on the water. We had a couple of cervezas. It looked like a storm was coming in. It cooled things down nicely. But now we've kind of hopped in the van. We've had a long day of driving, guys. All told today, we probably drove 4.5 to 5 hours, plus had a hectic grocery shopping trip. So I think we're gonna call it a night, but we will see you guys first thing in the morning, hopefully driving our van to the top of this mountain. So we're down at the meeting place. Lewis said he feels like our van will make it no problem. We're headed up there in our van, guys. It's a good start to the day. This is the truck we are following up. We're headed to the lookout. Homes. Hold on, everybody. Hold on. I know. Alright, it is a bumpy road. It has been quite steep in a few places. But so far, so good. The kitties are settling into their spots they go when we get on bumpy roads. But already the views are turning really nice. So I'm hoping this bumpy road is worth it. Curt is on the driving duty today, and he's doing a fantastic job. Alright, I gotta go back to co-piloting. We just stopped and got told that we've just now reached the rough section. So we put it in low gear. We're supposed to follow his tire tracks, and it's definitely a little rougher than it was a minute ago when I said everything was going good. So we're gonna hold on and keep going.
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
Good.
All right. Good.
Little slow.
Okay. I think you better just to clear the car, and you can see how. So this is like a rough area.
This is the worst one?
Yeah, the worst one. So
Okay.
It's better you see how the car will go, so you can maneuver.
Okay.
Come on.
So Curt has walked up there to see. We're coming up on our worst spot, he says. And we'll see how this one goes once we get around this curve. They're talking Curt through how to get up this next spot. I gotta tell you guys, this has been a pretty bumpy ride, but the van is doing it. Seems to be okay. And here we go.
I dare you dig a little deeper. It makes you feel a little stronger. Who knows what you may find? You'll see it in your own time. It might just take a little longer. It all goes by so slowly. Ooh, you waited your whole life. Your days turn into nights. Now let the river flow deep into the ocean. Over time you are moving with emotion. Let the river flow. Can you hear it whisper? It goes by so slow, like a solitary drifter.
Keeps going, or was that it?
I think that's the hardest part right there.
Definitely the toughest road we've taken the van on.
Yeah. The one we took in outside of Moolahay was really tough too. This one's extended for a long period of time. The other one was short.
So we're gonna focus on driving for the next little bit, guys. We gotta let our rest. Are we close? Watch this rock over here. You're good. Puppy's just telling us we're there.
Alright, it would be open space.
Go up again.
That was a hard spot. That was tough.
I know. But right now, how's the temperature of the car? Is okay?
It's
It got pretty hot through there, but I think it's
We might
okay.
need to rest a
Okay,
minute.
rest a little bit here.
Okay.
We're more than half right now, which is only one more hill that is a little different.
Okay.
But other than that, relax 10 minutes.
Okay.
I'm
Well,
gonna wait.
Okay.
We're gonna wait.
All right. Okay. We'll let it rest. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Doing good, honey. This is one heck of a ride up this mountain, guys. We are definitely over halfway. When we stopped back there to let the car rest, he said we were halfway, so we got to be getting closer. The van's gonna need to rest at the top. Oh.
Ooh. Uh-oh.
Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Good job. Kurt just made a very good observation. What'd you say, Kurt?
This is the van's Acatenango Fuego hike. This is pretty intense for the van. It's intense for us driving, but the van is working harder than I like. But we're so far up now, we gotta go the rest of the way.
The van's gonna make it to the top, and then it can rest. Okay. I think we made it, guys.
We made
Kurt
it.
just put on a master class in driving. The van did amazing. Whew. But she deserves a little rest, that's for sure. We made it. And look who's super stoked with our camp spot. What do you guys think? Was it worth the bumpy roads? Kurt's down there at the bottom of the hill. He took Vanna for a little walk. It's almost sunset time. But I wanted to give y'all a good perspective of where we're actually parked. It's amazing. So yesterday when we were leaving El Tunco and headed here to the viewpoint overlooking the Gulf, we stopped and bought bananas. Well, what we discovered is they're not bananas. They're plantains. So Kurt is fixing to try to fry some plantains for the very first time. Let's see how it turns out. Finished product. Fried up in the pan with a little bit of butter, topped with cinnamon and lechera sauce.
La Lechera.
Kurt's favorite.
If you guys haven't had this, you need to get it.
If they have it at home.
If you haven't, you probably don't.
Oh well. So we got up here pretty early this morning, guys. Settled into our campsite. A few people walked by and of course said hello to the kitties. The little kids love the kitties. and we just kind of relaxed. Curt made a yummy afternoon snack. We took both kitties for walks, and G is in the van just to talk and playing with his toys. But we've got the chairs out. We're sitting here on this wonderful viewpoint, and we're waiting for what we think might be a pretty awesome sunset. We'll see when you see here in just a few minutes. But this has been a nice day. First thing in the morning, we're going to get up super early, drive the van down maybe 1,000 yards to the overlook that Lewis has built here, where you're supposed to be able to see an amazing sunrise. So that is our plan. Now let's just wait a few more minutes and see if this sunset's going to do anything for us. And if it doesn't, it's still going to be okay. And now we look up and this cloud has come in. And I think it might affect the sunset, Curt. What do you think?
It's going to affect it. I just don't know which way. It's looking like maybe not as dramatic as we hoped for. We still have an amazing view, and we are not complaining about anything.
Not one bit.
But just not sure what the sunset's going to do yet.
But we're going to wait, because look at this view. Sunset or not, we're parked on top of a mountain overlooking the Gulf and the Pacific Ocean. So I couldn't find Curt, but I could hear him. He said he's always trying to get the shot.
Welcome to El Salvador.
What are you guys' names?
Nelson.
Charlie and Rodrigo.
Rodrigo. Nice to meet you. Mucho gusto. Yeah. Cheers, guys. So if you guys were wondering if we had a beautiful sunset, we did. And it was more about meeting the people and just enjoying the time out here in the nature with them. And yeah, it was just beautiful. But I gotta get Snow backed up. Come on back, Snow. We're backing up here, and this is where we're gonna sleep tonight. Straight on back.
Parked and ready.
We're parked and ready, but we got early morning because we're not leaving this place.
Nope.
We're gonna get up and see if we can catch a cool sunrise.
Amazing sunrise at the other lookout that's up here.
All right,
See y'all in
guys.
the morning.
Morning, everyone. So we raced over here to catch the sunrise. But look at all the people up here camping. It's a beautiful spot to camp. So we were talking to Lewis about his journey to build this. He bought this property about 8 years ago, and he's been building on it for about 6 years. And he had a bit of struggles in the initial start, so he named this the Spirit of the Mountain. He had this mountain blessed by a shaman, the volcano, in order to kind of get things going. But you can see he's building a big water collection system, and here he has the little restaurant and structural building. You can see the purified water and the wastewater system that he's created. He does fully recycling, so he separates all the plastics, glass, and all that type of stuff. And so he's very conscious of the nature, but he has a beautiful place here. There's plenty of places for camping with beautiful vistas. Also, there's a few places to park the van if you can get it up here. You guys know by now it was a super challenging ride on the way up here, but one for us, it was definitely rewarding. I would not do it again knowing what I know now. All right, so you guys have probably heard us say, and if you haven't heard us say it, you've heard somebody else say, it's always about the journey, not the destination. And this place was a perfect example. I'm not saying it's not a beautiful destination, it was. But certainly the journey up here, getting up here in the van, was such an experience. And getting to see all the El Salvadorian people and the beautiful miradors and views up here. We got to see both Honduras and Nicaragua from here, as well as, of course, El Salvador. So we're gonna head southwest now because we have a new destination. It's moving day.
Moving
So
day.
we're out of here, guys. But we got to navigate this rough road on our way down. So cross your fingers and wish us luck.
See you in a few days. Cheers.
If you liked this video, be sure to give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell so you know when we put out new videos. To see behind the scenes action and help support our journey, head over to our YouTube membership page. You can find the link in the video description. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys in a few days.